What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J and we are locked in. This is episode 3 of Queens. We seen last week the girls, they were getting everything back in order. We're about to have our first show in San Diego and we about to make this run. We also seen that Cameron might potentially be the baby daddy to Naomi. But before we jump into this episode, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now we moving forward. We got to get this tour cracking. We know little Muffin, she got to go back to rehab though, because you know she's hitting that powder. But without her, we got the 4 queens and we about to hit the road. So let's jump into it. This is Queens episode 3. We start off when we see the girls, they're reading articles about how bad their show has been since they've been on the road. And the reason for that is because they're older women and they have other things going on in their lives, but they're out there messing up and things. They don't even remember lyrics. Jill on stage, she don't know none of her lyrics. She like, what happened? We got Brianna, she in the back. They had to take a 7-minute intermission. She's calling her kids and singing to them to try to put them to sleep. So we just have a lot of things going on. And these middle-aged women, hey, that's what the article said, not me. These middle-aged women, they aren't putting on the show like people really want to see. Now, the ladies, they're talking about that article was misogynistic, it was sexist, it was racist. But then you hear Jill say, well, I mean, they were telling the truth, though. So you try to throw everything, you know what I'm saying, to come up with an excuse, but they were just telling the truth. Y'all were terrible out there. Y'all got to get better. Now, Naomi's talking about she didn't have time to really work on things because Jojo's flying in. But the women, they need to figure out a way to rebrand themselves and put out music that they can actually, rock with. They can't do the old songs no more. So now the women, they want to try to get music that they can relate to. They don't want that hardcore nasty beat. You know what I'm saying? You want to be with a nasty girl. They like, we older now. We want to, do some other things. Now, Naomi, she was the one that used to write all the lyrics and come up with all the hooks. So she's saying, I'll write something. I'll come up with an idea. Then, we'll put y'all verses together and I'll write V's verse. Because V was the only one that didn't write her own stuff. Now, Naomi, she's trying to, be the lead because she got hits up under her, Even the record executive said, you used to write good songs. That's what we want you to do. But Brianna's saying we should be able to write our own rhymes. We all come together. All of our voices should be heard now. We're older. We're more mature. So what she does is say, hey, let's have a rap battle. Me versus you. If I win, we write our verses. If you win, we bow down. You hear Jill say, all right, y'all can freestyle battle, but let's keep it, friendly, PG. Naomi said, this is hip hop. There ain't no friends. When you get out there, this is where you're supposed to be able to express yourself. So we're going to jump into this rap battle and see who really won. The first battle, they got that Black Rod, whoa, whoa. And, Eve is out. Oh, my bad, not Eve. Brianna is out here and she, she's an actual rapper, but she's just keeping it straight hip hop. She's rapping. She's not taking any low blows. Now, on the other hand, Naomi, she rapping and she's hitting a little below the belt because she told you this is hip hop and she wants to prove that I need to be writing the songs. So she had to take some jabs at her. Round 2, we give round 1 to Naomi. She got that because she was, she was rapping. Now, round 2, they got that Cameron old boy. Now, all the women from Queens, and we know Brianna ain't about to just let that go. So she starts taking some jabs. And I'm like, okay, round 2, we got to get this one to Brianna. So we got to go to round 3 just to get the tiebreaker out of here. Whoever wins this, they win the bet. And in round 2, Brianna came out and said, who's your baby daddy? When'd you meet him? What's the year? I was like, damn, you don't know who your baby daddy is. That's pretty bad for a woman. Like a dude, you be like, oh, man, that's my baby mama, man. But if a girl, you don't know who your baby daddy is, that just means you let a lot of guys smash. That's why Brianna won round 2. Round 3, Naomi goes first, and they bring on that Mobb Deep Quiet Storm. And I'm like, man, I just want to hear the instrumental. I ain't even trying to hear them rap on it. But Naomi, she starts off nice. But when it gets to our girl Brianna, she says, cut it. And what she does, when she cusses, she raps a cappella, and she terrorizes Naomi. And it makes Naomi bow down and walk out, saying, y'all can do it without me. Let's see. Everybody's like, dang, why you gotta be like that, Naomi? It was just a rap battle. You lost. We get to write our own lyrics now. We're going to see all 4 of the individual women and what they have going on. We know Brianna, she's going through something with her husband. He just got out the hospital with a tumor. He was lying about having a memory loss. So he's trying to cover up. He was smart. He was trying to cover up the affair that he had. Now, Brianna, she's talking to her counsel and they're telling her, hey, you better be making sure that you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't fix this marriage, because if you divorce him, he might get custody of the kids because you're going on the road. So that's definitely not something she wants to do, because if Jeff has the kids, she gonna be coming out of pocket all day. That's 5 kids, 5 child support. And if I'm Jeff, I'm asking for at least $5,000 to $10,000 a month per child. So that's 5. Yeah, go ahead and give me we're gonna go 10 per kid. Go ahead and give me 50 a month. And then what the women be asking for, let me get $100,000 a month for child support. What? Now Jeff and Brianna, they have to meet up with a lady that's gonna discuss, you know, who keeping the kids. And she's saying that the kids are hearing some vulgar language, nasty B, and it's a necklace that says nasty B. But Jeff, he steps up and says, hey, my wife was a multi-platinum recording artist. This is just, you know, a passage. That necklace just signifies what their mom had to go through. Now Brianna's looking like, okay, Jeff is holding it down for me, but she still has that ice box where her heart used to be because he cheated on her. After the little meetings that they have, Jeff takes Brianna out and he's having a little celebration of when their anniversary was and when they actually got married. And he's just trying to get her mind off of this. But she keeps telling him, I'm not going to forget what you did. And you lied about it. You know what I'm saying? So Brianna, she's kind of got her mind made up on what she wants to do. And that looks like leaving Jeff. When they get home, the conversation don't stop. You thought since you went out and got something to eat and something to drink, she wasn't going to bring it up. She talking about how she sacrificed everything. After her music career, she wanted to be a professor also. But instead, she nurtured the kids. And Jeff, you went to be a professor. She wanted that too. She didn't want to just be in the house all day. Well, I'm going to tell everyone listening to this, when you get married, discuss what you want to do. You can't just go with the flow. If you ain't got no plan, then hey, stuff like this is going to happen. So I can't just blame Jeff. You got to put it on both of them, because you should have spoke up and said this is what you wanted to do. On to Jill. Now, we know Jill, she came out gay on the BET Awards stage. That's the first time anyone besides Tina heard and, you know, the group. So the lady doing the reports on her, she's saying, okay, that's big of you. And Jill's saying, yeah, when we first started off in hip hop, you had to be something that the guys wanted. So pretty much she was pretending to be heterosexual this whole time because it was an image that she had to sell. Even though we know if you a lesbian, you know, if the rhymes is tight, then hey, we don't care. We just want to hear some good music. But this lady here that's doing the interviewing, she's very interested. And she's like, you know what? It's just such an honor to be around you. And you're one of the hottest lesbians out in the world right now. Now, the lady interviewing her, she goes off the record and says, hey, me and a couple of my girls, we're going out tonight. You want to come join? She's like, okay. They end up taking her to a gay bar. She's never been to one. So she's looking around and she's asking the girls, the little crew, have y'all dated? She's like, yeah, about 85% of everybody here dated each other. So she's kind of, you know, she's out of her element because she's into the church. So she's never really been around this. Outside of Tina, we don't know if she's even messed with another girl. And she probably has, but Tina's her main girlfriend. So she's here and she just doesn't feel comfortable, but it's a new environment for her. One thing I see that they can do, that's a huge audience there. If they can make some songs and they can put them in the gay bars and stuff, oh yeah, you're going to be, I'm talking about skyrocketing, because that community they're going to support. But she's at home. She's trying to write her lyrics because, you know, she got to get right. Since Brianna won the competition, you got to be able to write your own lyrics now. Tina's calling, but she doesn't want to be distracted. So she keeps hanging up and she's getting back to the flows. Now she meets back up with this reporter, and we know the reporter is gay also. So when they're out eating, she's over here rubbing up on her a little bit, and she was like, oh, whoa, what's going on here? You can tell she feels uncomfortable, but all you have to do is just move the hand like, hey, this ain't that type of party. But the reporter is, hey, she's persistent and she's on it. Now, if this is a guy, it'd be an outrage. Hey, what are you doing? They touched me. But, you know, it is what it is. Jill, if you don't want to be in this position, you're not asking for it. You're just putting yourself in a situation for bad things to happen. You need to distance yourself away from this reporter. After she asked you to go to the gay bar, you kind of already seen where this was going. You should have, hey, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to meet up with her one-on-one ever again. On to Miss Naomi, you know, explicit lyrics, A.K.A. I write the hits. Y'all just follow behind. Now, she said her daughter was flying in because she's auditioning to go to school at this music performing arts school. You know, she plays the piano. We seen her playing racquetball for her mama last week. So she gets here and she's like, hey, my first flight wasn't that bad. It was just a crying baby next to me. And I hate that. I look around, I make sure, okay, kid, at least 5 or 6 rows away from him. I'm not trying to be next to no kid on no plane. Now, you already know what's going to happen. Jojo comes in here with just, urban wear. These kids here, they got the polos on, they got the sweaters over them. And they're like, yeah, this is what you got to play. You got to play this off of memory. And Jojo, she's kind of down. Like, I don't, I didn't play that kind of music. And they start cracking on her. But when Naomi comes over, they're like, wait, ain't you the girl that J-Lo crushed? They talking about V. She's like, first of all, she ain't J-Lo. That's V from Nasty B. She'll never be a J-Lo. But this is my daughter, and we here, and we gonna do what we got to do. So she's standing up for her daughter, even though her and Jojo don't have that close of a relationship. Naomi's so out of sync with her daughter. She's talking about, well, at least you got 15 pairs of clean J's. These kids here, they don't have none of that. And Jojo's like, Mom, I can't wear J's to this. This is a formal event. Like, we're auditioning to go to school. And she's kind of upset because she doesn't think she's going to be able to do it. Now, Naomi is doing her best to encourage her and motivate her. Even though she's saying the wrong things, she's trying. Jojo has to tell Naomi, hey, look, Ma, you ain't being here. You get nervous before shows. I never get nervous, but you wouldn't know that because you ain't here. Naomi sitting there, she like, dang. You know what I'm saying? All right, you got me on that one. You got me. It ain't nothing you can say. Like, you pop up once every 2 or 3 years. Come on now. Jojo, she's nervous though. Even though she says she isn't, she's nervous. Naomi leaves. She goes and grabs some food and comes back because she still wants to try to be there for Jojo because this is a big moment for her. Now, when she gets back, she tells her, this is the food that I eat whenever I come to a different city. This is my favorite spot here in LA. And she gives it to her. And she starts to encourage her and tell her, hey, it's going to be a little bit harder because we're black women out here. Things aren't going to be the same for us that it is for everyone else. But you need to make the best of this situation and do anything possible to stay focused and get it done. So now Jojo has that courage. And when Naomi came in, she was playing that Cream. You know what I'm saying? That Wu-Tang. It's time for the performance. Naomi's up there. She got the braids tied up. She put on her new shoes. She came out there. She starts off with some classical music and then she mixes it up. I'm talking about she putting cream in there. I'm talking about she mixing everything in there. We like, okay. You kind of see the judges trying to bob, but they can't bob because this ain't what they supposed. It's supposed to be classical music, but you see Naomi in the back rocking. And then at the end, she starts playing, I Know You Want to Be With a Nasty Girl. I'm like, all right, that's cool how they mix that in. That piano transition was smooth. Jojo did her thing. She gets accepted into the school and she's telling Naomi, I thank you for everything. But there is a but. I know you don't remember, Mom, but I want to, if you have any information, I want to go out and try to find who my father is. Now, Naomi's still keeping it a secret. We don't know if it's Cameron. We don't know if it's Eric's. I'm thinking it's more of Cameron's. Jojo just wants to know, Naomi, how hard is it to tell her who her daddy is? You were keeping this kid from a father figure that probably would have been in her life more than you were. That's just a shame. Now it's time for Miss V. V, she didn't write none of her rhymes. She said, I went up there, I looked good, I performed good, and that's it. But I can't, go meet up with the girls and be wrong to Naomi because I can't write and Naomi needs to write me some lyrics. So she comes to Eric's house to try to get some inspiration or get some help on how to write some lyrics for whatever song we about to record next. Now, we know Eric's messed around with Naomi. Eric's messed around with Valeria. And he's sitting in here in the studio listening to what she got. And he's like, oh my God, she's actually trash. Why? What was I thinking with this? She's horrible, people. But he's like, you know what? Let's get out of here. Let's hit LA up, grab something to eat. And, just open our mind, our creativity. But for her, she's like, because she wants to keep a distance. She doesn't want any of the relationship stuff to pop back up. It's strictly business. So when they go out to eat, it's reminiscing a little bit. But also what he's trying to do is get her to open up about her past life so she can have things to build off of. That's just like him playing some older songs saying, hey, listen, I got old tracks from y'all. Maybe you can get some inspiration, take a couple of those bars, mix it up. So he's reliving her story because he's trying to get her to be creative. Use something that, life experiences to make these flows. I'm talking about they didn't just go out to eat and drink. They went out to go dancing. And he's like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? He out here grooving and stuff. You see him getting a little bit closer because he want that old thing back, even if it is just for the night. You know what I'm saying? One time is fine with me. But they're out here and they're dancing. You can still see that there's an attraction between the two. V just wants to keep it separate because she really wants to prove herself when it comes to this music. Even though she's not a lyricist, she still wants to be able to prove herself. They get back to the house. He's like, you gonna come inside? She's like, whoa, play. It ain't that type of party. He said, what? Ain't no one even on that. I'm trying to get you in here so we can get to work. You gotta have some bars, right? So she like, oh yeah, you right. See, everything isn't about sex. He's trying to make some money because he is the manager. He does have to make sure that they make money because if they don't make money, he ain't making no money. Little Muffin is in the rehab, so he ain't getting no money off of her. So V, you need to get your butt in this studio and we need to make it happen. They got this new beat. They got some trumpets in it. I'm like, okay, I can rock with that beat. V gets in there. She rapping. We don't get to hear any of her lyrics, but you can see that she must be doing good because Erica's like, that's what I'm talking about. She in there rocking the mic, and you know what I'm saying? Eric out there doing what he do over there. I don't know, though. What y'all think? Y'all think V got a hit on her hand or she just in there BSing? Now, they get close to each other. Eric is like, man, you did your thing. And they get ready to kiss, but she stops him. And then he says, if for what it's worth, I thought you would have been a good mother. She's like, I didn't want to be a mother. I wanted to pursue my career and do what was right for me. So that's why she came over. You remember, she came, put her CD in his pocket. She wanted to be a star. That's what she wanted. She didn't want none of the relationship stuff. At the end of the day, Eric, she was just using you to get to the top. She got her money right because she was messing with you. And hey, it worked out for her. She ended up getting a TV hosting job. You see people use each other all the time, especially in the music business. It's probably one of the biggest places that people get used. I won't say they get screwed over because, hey, if you sign that contract, no one's getting screwed over except you screwing yourself because you didn't read the contract. But she did what she did to get to the top. Now it's time to hear what all the ladies got. You know what I'm saying? We got to hear this hook. We got to hear if the song is going to be good or not. All the ladies come together. They hug because this could either make or break them. We got to see what they're going to do. Everyone wrote their own lyrics this time. Naomi gets in there, and of course, she doesn't let down. We already knew she could spit. Now, what she's talking about is how her daughter changed her life. You know what I'm saying? How she's sobering and everything. And moving forward, she wants to do what's right for her and for her daughter. So, hey, Naomi, check. We already knew that was going to be good. V gets in there. I'm like, okay, she actually straight. She talking about changing her life overall. So you know how she was. She's grimy, just trying to get over on people to get to the top. But she talking about not now. Nope. We getting things straight. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, V, check. We got two so far. We got two. We 2 for 2. What the other two got is the question. So everybody right now, they feeling it. You can even look at Eric. He over there like this. I don't know what this is, but he feeling it. Brianna gets in there, and we know she's a real spitter in real life. So when she gets in here, I'm like, all right, we ain't even got to ask. She gets in there and she's talking about her relationship and everything and how she left her wedding ring on the table just so you can remember what a perfect wife was. I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? She's shooting these jabs at Jeff. Even though my man's sick, she still got to let him have it. Last but not least, we got Jill. And she gets on there. She starts talking about the church and how she's reformed and nah, she ain't reformed, but she's talking about how she came out. She's no longer the pastor's daughter. You know what I'm saying? The deacon's daughter. She's out here. She's living her truth. And I'm like, all right, cool. All 4 of them did a good job. What they're doing, I told you earlier, they're changing their image from being the nasty beat. And this right here was the story for them to all tell where they're at now in their life. Now, it turns out V wrote the hook, talk about all the money in the world, but girls gonna run that. I'm like, all right, this is actually kind of catchy. You know what I'm saying? You can hear that. You know, you won't be in the club dancing to it or nothing. You just, you know what I'm saying? You just bob your head like, hey, that hook straight. You drinking your drink. But all the girls, they listen to it like, oh, shit, V. She went from not writing her lyrics to writing a hook. Now, when she gets out, even Naomi gives her props on that. Now, while all of them were rapping, they were showing what their story was going on. Naomi, she's going to help her daughter find who her father is, which shouldn't be hard because it's either Eric or Cam. Then we seen Brianna talking to her husband, and they're still about to go through their divorce. We seen Jill, her with the reporter. They messing around now. And V, she's just trying to get right. You know what I'm saying? She's cutting her hair. She's being her. So now we got us a hook. And guess what? They changed their name. They're no longer nasty bees. They're queens. Queens forever. Ah! I know Eric is like, shit, thank you, man. I can finally get some money. Hey, y'all did a good job. We need to record 3 to 4 more songs in the next 2 days. I told y'all in the studio, Eric's like, we got to record more songs. We got to get going. Now he's on the phone talking about, yeah, I got some old verses from the Nasty Bees. And he's like, yeah, man, we could just put that together as like, you know what I'm saying, a blast from the past. But he starts playing an unreleased verse, and it's Naomi rapping about her daughter and not telling who the father is. V walks in and she's like, wait, Jojo's your kid? Now we don't know. We just hear the flows, but it could be his or it could be Cameron's. But V is very upset with him. And I don't know why, because you just told him you didn't want anything to do with him. But now that Naomi's daughter may be his, you're like, oh, you're upset. Like, what are you upset with him for? You don't want nothing to do with him. Just rap and just keep it moving. Now, the last thing we see is Brianna coming back to talk to Jeff. Now, she's sitting on the bed. He's laying in the bed watching TV. And while she's talking to him, she's telling him, you know, where I'm at in life, I'm going to forgive everything you did. But he's not responding to anything. So she looks at him. She's like, you really not going to say anything after I told you I'm going to forgive you for what you did? Well, unfortunately, Jeff was passed away. He has actually left us. He was in the bed. Hey, man, just got the best of him. So she comes over and she lays with him. She was upset. Like, you're not going to say anything? Whole time a man was in there dead on the Weather Channel. Dang. All right, there you go. Episode 3 of Queens. Let me know what you think. Did V put out a hit? And also, do you think that Naomi is actually going to help Jojo find her father? Let me know what you think. And dang, RIP to Jeff. But if you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm Mo.J. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.